Tuesday marked 1 year since Javier Milei took office as Argentina's president. To mark this milestone, the president delivered a televised speech flanked by his cabinet. Milei used the opportunity to trumpet what he sees as his administration's achievements, while offering a glimpse of what's next for his government. But the day also reflected a shift in his political fortunes, with lukewarm public enthusiasm underscoring some of the challenges ahead. During his speech, Milei highlighted what he framed as a year of bold reform. He praised his administration's efforts to shrink the size of government, pointing to the significant reduction of ministries, firing of corrupt officials, and a fiscal policy aimed at reining in Argentina's spiraling deficit. He also hailed the liberalization of trade and foreign exchange controls as key steps towards integrating Argentina into the global economy. Looking forward, Milei doubled down on his promise to eliminate the peso and dollarize the economy, a pledge that has defined much of his presidency. He reiterated plans to slash more public spending, streamline bureaucracies, and further open Argentina to international markets. But even with these lofty goals, the shadow of Argentina's economic crisis looms large. Milei also made a veiled reference to political resistance from within his own administration, possibly aimed at Vice President Victoria Villarruel, who was conspicuously absent given the recent reports of a developing rift between the president and his VP. A similar split at the top of the Fernandez government left that administration paralysed and unable to move forward with its plans. Villarruel's role as vice president also makes her the head of the Senate, and if disagreements with Milei continue, she has a lot of power to slow down or even block the progress of bills through the House. So how deep is this rift? How spiteful is Villarruel? And could this bring Milei's house of cards crashing down? Following the speech, Milei stepped onto the balcony of the Casa Rosada to wave to his supporters, a moment possibly intended to mimic the heady days of President Cristina Kirchner. But instead of the massive crowds that once packed Plaza de Mayo for such events, only about 50 supporters showed up, along with a scattering of curious tourists. This modest turnout reflects a stark change from Milei's campaign days, when he drew massive rallies with his fiery rhetoric and anti-establishment message. Published polls show Milei's popularity still riding high, but this rather lackluster show of enthusiasm for the president is perhaps a more accurate representation of public discontent with the ongoing economic crisis and Milei's polarizing leadership style. Despite the underwhelming anniversary, the latest inflation figures released on Wednesday showed that Milei's plans for the economy are still moving in the right general direction. Inflation for November came in at a pleasing 2.4% for the month, with the annual figure continuing its downward trend to 166%, but still doggedly above the figure the government inherited a year ago from the previous administration. This is despite the dramatic rises in unemployment and poverty rates over the last year that have left millions struggling to make ends meet. While Milei's administration has taken steps to combat inflation, including cutting public spending and deregulating parts of the economy, critics argue that these measures are insufficient or misguided. Without a broader plan to address structural issues, including wage stagnation and poverty, Milei faces mounting skepticism about his ability to deliver meaningful change. Milei's first year in office has been anything but smooth sailing. While he has delivered on some of his campaign promises, such as scaling back government size, his broader economic reforms have yet to produce any tangible benefits for most Argentines. The public's patience appears to be wearing thin, and his increasingly fraught relationship with Villarruel adds another layer of uncertainty. But what do you think? Is Milei's presidency on the right track, or is he losing touch with the people who elected him? Share your thoughts in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if you found it insightful. If you want to support the channel, you can buy me a coffee in the link below, and I'll see you next time.